Hey guys, Nomus RC, we got an emergency. I broke my radio. I have no idea how to repair these, so we're gonna figure it out. May not look too bad, but all of a sudden it's like, oh my god. Okay, those aren't supposed to just come out of there like that. And that's not supposed to just come out of there like that. First, we'll start by powering it down, obviously. We'll flip it over and pull the crossfire unit out. And then we'll pull the battery. And then it looks like we got 2 screws up top and 2 screws down the bottom. We'll probably have to pull off either these or these side panels. Most radios use this piece right here. And there will be some more screws or something like that hidden underneath there. And then I did notice we got a couple of screws up top too. We'll go ahead and just pull them out. Alright, let's get wrenching. Alright, so we'll pull these 4 first and see where we're at. These take a 2.5. It's kind of a big size for a radio, but okay. Might have to look this up. Okay guys, we looked it up. I thought it was going to be these that we would remove. It's actually these side pieces, and it looks like they literally just, ouch, looks like they literally just pull off. Yeah, they just push on and off. They don't go in a certain way or out a certain way. They literally just push in. And in theory, the back should just pull right off now. Yep. And so, let's see what we have. Yeah, so we do have a couple of wires connected in here. We'll need to disconnect that. Looks like it goes to the speaker. And then this one also, I guess, goes to the speaker. That's the back shell. Done. Now, let's see what we broke. So, we have these switch panels. I know this switch is bad. It looks like they're grouped together, 2 switches per PCB board. These switches are straight up, these switches here are straight up busted off. Like, you don't even have to take the retainers off. They're completely snapped off. And then this one, just the switch itself fell out. I don't think it's actually busted off like the other ones. So let's go ahead and get these off of here. It looks like we might have to pull, even though these switches aren't bad, it looks like we might have to pull these to get to the others. And let's get these little retainers off of here. So now the switch panel is kind of loose. We'll see about that. Well, we got a couple of zip ties. Let's go ahead and get those going. It looks like I might be able to swap this one out fairly easy right here. So let's do some digging online and see what we can find, guys. All right, guys, so we got a couple of places that we can go to get this. So this is a hobby store that I actually go to. They're fairly close to me. They're right around the Atlanta area in Georgia, called Grayson Hobbies. That's actually where I got my radio from years ago for $250 for the Max model. So they always have absolutely internet pricing, and you can literally walk into their store. It's ran by a couple of guys that are awesome. They'll answer any question you got. Very knowledgeable. Anyway, we have them, and then we have Buddy RC, right? So Buddy RC, if we look at this, so you can see I will need the SH and SG cluster, right? That's this cluster right here. It's 2 of them together. And then I will need the SA and SB cluster right here. And if we come up here and we look, that's literally how they sell them. SA plus SB switch assembly. Buddy RC's $5.99. Grayson Hobbies, $3.19. And then we also needed the SH, and those are exactly the same price as well, $319. Now the SH is a specific switch because it's a spring switch. It automatically pops back into place. So you want to make sure and get the right switches, guys. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and get these ordered once Grayson Hobbies gets to me in a couple of days, literally. And once they come in, then we'll continue this and we'll fix this radio. All right, guys, as always, Grayson Hobby did not disappoint. And it doesn't appear that they're broke. That's probably good. And then something else that I did notice while I was in there is the little bracket broke to the motor, and this was like $2. So I figured I could have 3D printed something, whatever. I'm kind of lazy. I just want a direct replacement. So I went ahead and got it. The motor was fine. It's just this little bracket was broke. You can see in here, the little bracket that holds it is busted. And I noticed it when I turned the radio on and it went, it sounded like horrible. So we'll replace that. I think we want to start with these two. Like I forgot to take these off, because these things literally snapped off. So we can see the broken switches here. I mean, these things are just floppy in here. There's nothing there. And then these straight up snapped off. I'm not sure if we'll be able to just... The reason it probably came out so easy is because it was broke. Oh, okay, cool. At least on this side anyway, we'll be able to put it in without too much hassle. That's nice. We can actually take off these from the other switches. And if you guys don't have these, I'll put a link down in the description. They're on Amazon, they're cheap, and I really, really like them. They're specifically made for the TX16, and they're only a few bucks. And I really like how they make your switches feel. Okay, let's get it plugged in. It was plugged in right here. There we go. We'll go ahead and zip tie that. From what I can see, guys, the only reason that they have these zip ties in here at all is just so that it doesn't get tangled up in the gimbal. Because if they're not all together like this, one or two of them hang down and they might get caught by the gimbal. I'm not positive that I'll need to dismount this, the L. I think I'm going to have to dismount this trimmer pot and the actual gimbal itself. This screw here, I'm going to take that screw from the gimbal down in there. Alright, so this trimmer pot actually has two screws. There's one up top as well. So there's one right there. It really didn't seem to make any difference. So let's pull all four of them. Here's the second one right here. And then the fourth one is right here. Put the screw back in the gimbal. Right, that way we have all four screws are still in the gimbal, so when we go to slide it back in here, hopefully the screws will stay and we can just screw them down. And we won't have to fumble with dropping them or anything like that. I'm sure I have a magnetic screwdriver somewhere, but it's not within my reach at the moment. Oh, I see, they snap in. They have a little ridge right there. And that's what snapped off of this side. And that's why it doesn't stay on there anymore. The cables do look a little bit different. Maybe just a newer version. We'll find out. let's plug this in. Grayson Hobbies, guys. Check them out. Good dudes. Amazing pricing. Like I said, for a retail hobby shop, they are 100% internet pricing. Okay, we got that plugged in. Let's see if we can just move this gimbal over without knocking any of the screws out. Screw number 1, hoping was the more difficult one. We will see. Screw number 2. Let's get this on here. Well, this looks to be a better nylon, so I don't think it'll break as easily. That's good. All right, guys, let's get our trimmer pot on here. Yeah, and you can actually feel it has a centered position. It's got kind of a stop, so we don't have any interference with the gimbal on this side. We're ready to put our back cover back on. So we just have the 2 speaker wires. One of them goes to the board. One of them goes to the board right here on this small one, and then the other plugs into this that's hanging here. Technically, guys, these may only plug in one way, but you absolutely probably could jam it the other way, just like when you take apart a laptop, right? I am going to tilt this bigger speaker wire under like that because it looked like it was going to get into this gimbal. Okay, looks a lot better. Let's get our 6 main screws in. So there's that. Let's put our crossfire unit back in. Put our battery in. If you don't know, you can get specific batteries for the TX16. This one's made by Pulse. It's a 3000 milliamp. There are other ones out there. This is only $15.99 on HeliDirect's website. So I'll actually link all this stuff here in the description. That way you guys got it. Again, those just literally press on. You just kind of work them in a little bit. All right. Kick the radio on. That one's working. And we had our spring switch, which didn't get broke, but it needed replaced because it was on the same board. And then we have this one, which also still works. Okay, perfect, guys. We put it back together correctly. Everything's working. We have repaired our TX16. As always, guys.